Fun time. Hey gang, I'm JP and welcome to the first ever live Talking the Expanse live Splosion. I don't know what to call it yet. This is all brand new and it's on Egotastic. I didn't know I was going to be doing a live show tonight, you guys. I just finished watching season 1 of the Expanse and I'm like, hey, that was amazing. I'm going to be doing a whole show about this. I should probably go live and, throw something together real quick so we can all chat about it. Now, this is going to be very different because I have nothing prepared. I threw together some graphics really quick to do the opening of the show. I don't have any research done. I'm still trying to remember names of characters. This is unlike Talking the Orville where I know everything, where I've researched everything. You guys are probably ahead of the game on this more than me. So, we're going to chat about Season 1. I'm going to tell you what I think about it, and you guys are going to tell me about it. You can ask me questions, and this is just going to be a laissez-faire. Hey, how's it going, you guys? What's doing? Did you see the first season of The Expanse? I did. What? Let's see who's here. Now, I know this is going to be a little bit different than a Talking the Orville, which has been planned for, years, every Thursday night, an hour before the new airing. This was just, like I said, impromptu. I didn't even know I was going to be doing this. Let's see if YouTube tells me who's here right now. A normal username, Dr. Scott Giles. It's Johnny Gat, Jason Link, Jason Sexton, Ludwig Von Siegfried, Mr. Tommy Pickles, R25, Rob Crawford, and Starless Sky. And if I see any new names in the chat here, Mr. Tommy Pickles, I'll try to do my best to notice that and say hello. James Forsyth, how's it going? Okay, you guys, so I watched Season 1. I'm sure you guys have probably either not seen it at all or have already seen every single season. And I have to tell you, I am incredibly impressed with this show. This, I have to say, is probably the best, legit, for reals sci-fi show out there right now. It kind of reminds me, not story-wise, not technology-wise, but kind of filters, dramatic levels wise, kind of reminds me of BSG. Not the look or anything, but some of the filters they use, the camera angles they use, that tone, and I love it because that is something that's been missing since Battlestar left. It's just something that's really good at sci-fi. And of course, this is actually better at sci-fi than Battlestar Galactica. They're taking serious, real scientific premises. I don't know how that's said. I said a thing. They're taking the foundation of science and, making it work for television best they can, but still keeping it real. And I got something up here on the screen. This series is set in a future where humanity has colonized the solar system. This is for those of you who don't know. And follows a disparate band of anti-heroes. The United Nations Security Council, Christian Avasarala, police detective Joseph Miller, who is the bomb, played by Thomas Jane. Love that dude. And James Holden and his crew as they unwittingly unravel and place themselves at the center of a conspiracy which threatens the system's fragile state of Cold War-like peace, the balance and the survival of humanity. So basically, I'm still trying to understand everything. There's a mystery, there's a conspiracy, and then, of course, there's this universe they built, you guys. And it's a really thought-out universe. Of course, this is all based on a big series of books, The Expanse. And so you have... This takes place in the 23rd century, about the same time as Star Trek Discovery is supposed to take place. Of course, seems to be like a much more realistic version of what our future would be like at that time, assuming that we're not all super peaceful and stuff, which, let's face it, we're probably not going to be. So we have the Earthers, Belters, and Martianers. So you got Martians, Earthlings, Belters. The Belters live out in space. They're mining. They're getting resources. They grew up and live in low G. Well, not even low G, like no G, really. I mean, they got centrifuge type gravity, but also for the most part, like the people that are out there in space flying around, they don't have artificial gravity. They just have boots that are magnetized. It's pretty sweet stuff. And the Martians are awesome. And I want to see what you guys are thinking, because I'm still getting, figuring this all out. I only remember like 5 of the character names, and that took a while. Yeah, and that's what I keep hearing, Starless Sky. Starless Sky says, and it's just starting to get rolling in Season 1. Now, gosh, I don't even know if I should say this. I'm going to say it. I've only watched Season 1, and if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. But also, I don't know for sure when I say this, but I'm pretty sure there's some alien stuff going on. We haven't really quite seen it. That wasn't necessarily have to be an alien, but I kind of feel like there's some alien stuff going on, though we don't know for sure yet. We've only seen humans. One thing I love about this show, because I'm really excited, as you guys can see, I have my brain's just going off in different paths. I love how you have all these characters that go against type. You have just a ton of white dudes, right, that sound like they're Asian. They sound like they're a cross between Scottish and Asian and / South African. It's really amazing stuff. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I really love the fact that you see some dude, you think it's going to be some British guy, and he sounds like he's Asian. It's amazing that they even thought about that, because that's how it would be. Oh, thanks, T. Caldwell. I appreciate that. Expanse was too political for me. I tried Season 1 and didn't make it. Does it get better? Oh, yeah. Now, did you watch all of Season 1? Because, they are setting up the story. There's political stuff from Earth and Mars, Mars, we just kind of get a taste of Mars. Not the actual planet, but the people of Mars and their military force. And, of course, we're following that lady from Earth, the UN representative. And by episode 4, I was hooked. Episode 4, God, what was that called? CBG, something close combat. That is when they had the space battle, and I was just enthralled the whole time. It kind of does that thing that they used to do in Battlestar Galactica when you're out in space, when you see stuff in space, you don't have a lot of audio, just a tiny bit. They give you, of course, there'd be none in realistically, but they have just a little bit of audio, just like they used to do in BSG. It's so great, and people are getting their heads blown off in 0G. It was amazing. And yeah, so we're going to be, what's up, John Guy? What's up, Peter Ruan, Doug 34, Voltaire's Rewind, Frozen Owl, how's it going? So, oh, I saw Thomas Jane. Yeah, Host Cat says Thomas Jane is awesome. So, oh man, my air conditioner went on. I'm sorry, you guys, if you guys can hear that. I don't know if you can or not. I can. It's blowing my eardrums out. So, this is kind of like our little taste before I get, my feet under me when I start doing my research. We're going to be, I don't know if we're going to be doing a ton of, well, we might be doing Expanse live shows because the Orville won't even be on anymore. It'll be off, the season will be over by the time the Expanse comes back. So we might be switching the live pre-shows to the Expanse, or maybe we'll do post-shows so we can actually talk about what happened in the episode. So this is kind of just a little taster, you guys. I'm designing some logos. I'm going to put out a better countdown, get some better imagery going on, and really put it together and have it be an official series for Egotastic FunTime, just like Talking the Orville. I've kind of off and on made Talking Star Trek kind of official, but I'm actually going to go ahead and be making that an official series as well, getting the logos and imageries and all that stuff done. I'm just waiting for Friday. This Friday is my first day of going Egotastic full time, and I'm pretty excited about it. And I don't even think the news of when Season 4 officially starts on Amazon Prime for The Expanse, I don't think that's even out yet. If you guys know when it's due out, let me know, because I'd like to get started. Well, I don't want to do too much research because I don't want any spoilers. I want to, I'm going to go right into watching Season 2 this week, and then we'll do another live show with my thoughts on Season 2. I should actually understand things a little bit better by then. And we'll do the same thing for Season 3, and then I'll probably take certain moments from the different seasons, do some episodes about that, some Egotastic Talking the Expanse episodes, a little bit more official in the studio over there. And then when season 4 starts, we'll have a party live. I'll be doing every episode review. And I think since Amazon Prime's taking it over from Sci-Fi, the budget should be even bigger, I would think. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Let me just move the chat over here a little bit closer to me. What was your favorite episode? I know a lot of you are going to say episode 4, because I would think that would be the case, right? In season 1, episode 4, that close combat, that big old space battle on that Mars ship. I don't know what you want to call that. But episode 4 was my favorite as far as like tension. It really, that's when I fell in love with the show. The space stuff going on was amazing. And as far as favorite character, I'm sure I would think it would be Miller, right? Thomas Jane. I love him. I love how they kind of have Miller is kind of like this film noir type detective. Plays by his own rules, but he gets the job done. Or does he? They don't think he does, but he can get it done. Italo Nassau says, "Hi JP, is it too late for me in Argentina? The Expanse is the best show on TV right now. Good night." Oh, it's late for you. Well, go to sleep. It's actually about my bedtime too. This is going to be a short live show. I just wanted to pop in, chat with you guys a little bit. I'm really excited about the Expanse. You know me, I'm all about the Orville, right? But the Orville is a different thing. The Expanse is like hardcore sci-fi. Of course, it's got some humor in it. It's got that drama in it. It's got that action in it. It's just a really nice mix. It can be gritty. It can have light moments. People getting thrown out airlocks is always a fun time on the show. Not too many airlocks, people getting thrown out of airlocks in the Orville, but you never know. That might be coming up in part 2 of Identity. Hey, thanks, Adam Wolf. Oh, I forgot, you guys. Got to do the sounds, right? Martians are called dusters. Oh, thank you. The Belters live on the asteroid belt in between Mars and Jupiter. People that live on Earth and Mars, interstellar, maybe? Yeah, Earthers, Martians, dusters. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Because Martian sounds dumb, right? Dusters. That's awesome. TC Aldway. I'm sorry if I'm not saying that right. Where does your Patreon need to get for you to make bills? This is Tom C. I hit you for $100 a month. Oh, is that you? Oh, Thomas. Yeah. I messaged you this morning, right? Yeah, we're getting there. It's I just put a fun goal on there because I didn't care. I put like $3,000 a month, but I was really hoping to get I'm hoping to get $1,000 a month. That's rent right there, and so that always helps. So we're getting there. We're almost there. A few a few more larger patrons or a lot of little patrons, and we'll be getting there. And I really appreciate that. And also, once I go full time this Friday, I'm going to be able to concentrate on the Patreon page as well, because I actually want to do some, not only a special song for you guys that I have planned on recording, but also special videos talking about special episodes of Star Trek or a movie or something like that. That's only for the patrons. And you guys will be getting that. I'm going to be doing all kinds of different content on I'm diversifying. I got the Twitch. I got the YouTube Egotastic FunTime gaming channel, which is going to be gaming news and special game streams. And then, of course, main Egotastic FunTime, which is for movie reviews and talking the Orville and talking Star Trek and talking the Expanse and talking everything else that I want to talk about. Roberto Suarez, thank you so much.
That's what I'm talking about right there on that board.
Wait till you meet Gunny and Drummer. Yeah, see, I don't even know nothing about any of that stuff with the Expanse, and I'm really excited. You guys, since day one, have been telling me, JP, you got to check out the Expanse. And I'm like, man, I know, it looks great. I just don't have the time. And I finally made the time. I watched, I was like, oh, it's only 10 episodes that first season. I'll watch 1 or 2 every couple nights. And, I started it like a week and a half ago, I think it was. That's when I did that announcement. I think it was probably a car. I don't remember when I told you guys I was watching it. But, and then I finally finished it right now. And I'm super excited to get started on the next season. Well, actually, I got to start putting my thoughts together for my season 1 review, and I want to have that done before I start season 2, because I love the idea of not knowing what's coming up when I'm reviewing season 1. I'm like a newborn babe in the woods. I don't know much about expanses. Be easy with me. Login Noticias says, Thomas Jane is the man. God, I love him so much. Now, Thomas Jane, I saw him in that new Predator movie a few months ago. It was an okay Predator movie. It had some great moments, had some dumb stuff. I both liked his character, but also thought it was a little overboard with some of the Tourette stuff he was doing, but I still loved him. I actually would have preferred it if they delved into him and his friend's character from that movie. Now I'm all about this dude. Didn't he play Punisher at one point? Yeah, a lot of you guys have been telling me that season 1 is, pretty good, but season 2 is like crazy nuts, and season 3 is even better. So I'm really excited to see, how it tops itself every season. And I'm loving the characters. I'm loving Naomi. I'm even loving Holden. I didn't know if I was gonna like, what's her name, Christian, the UN lady on Earth. I was like, oh, is she a bad guy? But now we're like, oh no, she's a real character, like a person to follow. She's, probably a good person. She's got a storyline that I want to find out about. Thomas, I'm just gonna call you Thomas, man. Thank you again. Eek, Patreon is down for maintenance. No, they were down for maintenance the other day too. Here I was helping promo for you, and it's down. I know, it's how they do it. But there's links down there, you guys, if you want to become a patron. Or there's also the tip jar down there. My goal was to make $1,701 $1,701, and we made that. I think it's at 2,000 right now. All that goes towards paying all my bills, so that we can do this full time and I won't be so scared. So you can click on that stuff down there, or you can just hang out and watch. That's the important part, is watch, become part of the conversation, because that is why I started this channel in the first place, is to have nerdy conversations about nerdy stuff, because I don't have friends that live nearby anymore. So you guys are my new circle of friends. We're going to sit around in a circle till all nights, all hours of the night, and talk about movies and sci-fi and, nerd stuff. You know what that is, nerd stuff. Jason Link says, JP, remember the Flash show from the 90s? Of course I do. I was huge into that show. Whatever happened to actually good superhero shows? Well, like I was, the only superhero show that I actually watch now, current show, is actually The Flash, the new Flash on CW. Of course, I really love that show. It actually is loosely connected, not really connected, but it has the same actor that plays the Flash from the 90s. Sometimes he plays a version of the Flash in the new show as well, and it's actually pretty great. He plays Jake Garrick. I can't remember the name. I love the new Flash, but of course it does have its problems. It gets pretty damn silly sometimes. But I decided that was the one show that I would let do whatever it wants to do, as long as every single character doesn't become a superhero, which they kind of did that. I was kind of like disappointed because Arrow made it so that everyone's a superhero on the show now. And I was like, well, at least the Flash doesn't do that, and now they kind of do. So it's kind of I'm disappointed in that, but I still love the show. Mr. Bellamy says, LOL, what happened to good superhero show? Ha! Alec Lutz says, I like the new Flash and Legends of Tomorrow. I wasn't into Legends of Tomorrow, even though I know it's gotten pretty good the last couple seasons. I was just so... God, I hated whatever the Freeze guy it was. Couldn't stand him. I couldn't stand the acting of Freeze. even though I know he's not on there anymore. Anyway, Victor Garber's on. Well, no, he's not even on there anymore, is he? But yeah, I know that show's pretty good. I just decided with the CW, because they have 800 superhero shows. I watched like the first 4 seasons of Arrow, and I loved it, and I finally got done with it. The Flash was the one I said, okay, I will watch. That's the one I'll follow. I'm going to let the other ones go by the by. Even though I like Supergirl, I liked all those shows, I decided there's only enough time for one, so I chose The Flash. Yeah, Freeze from Prison Break, Doug34. Aren't they doing another Prison Break? I think I heard something about that. They're always doing another Prison Break show. Yeah, Alec Constantine is on Legends of Tomorrow now. I see all the trailers, and of course I love the CW crossover events. So every time they have once a year they do a crossover event, so then I watch, all the appropriate episodes from the different shows. Why are we talking about superheroes? We're talking about The Expanse, you guys. Though I kind of want to talk about superheroes now. Thomas Jane is my superhero. Oh, I know why, because I talked about Punisher. Brought it around full circle. Thomas Jane from The Expanse. I really love, the mystery in The Expanse isn't even completely unfolded yet. We just got a little bit of a taste at the end there of that, the conspiracy runs deeper than we thought. It just keeps going. This is just barely starting, right? But I liked the journey throughout the entire season. We get a little bit more of a clue comes every episode, and we're like, what? And that brings us to the next place, and it was pretty great. I'm really interested to see. Now, there is crossover from the Orville with The Expanse. There's, of course, Chad Coleman, who plays Clyden, plays, what's his name? Fred something or other? Fred something. We don't know for sure, at least for season 1, if he's a good guy or a bad guy. I kind of feel like he's a good guy who used to be a bad guy. Something like that. I'm interested to see his story. Dr. Aronov from the pilot, the guy that was there helping, who kind of invented, or he was the lead person on the Epsilon Prime, where they invented the anti-banana ray, Dr. Aronov. He plays the UN lady's husband on the show. Fred Johnson, you guys are saying. Voltaire's Rewind, Cardinal Doomsday, Alexandra Sandu, they all know Fred Johnson. Oh, Voltaire's Rewind says, JP, what do you think about the ships in The Expanse? God, I love them. They're not slick. They're not, they don't have shields and dampeners and, all this stuff. They're just big old things. They're sharp edges. They're bulky. They're not pretty at all. They're more realistic to what technology would probably be like, 200 years from now? It's a lot more realistic. It's not, even though they've mastered space, kinda, it's still not safe. You could still get blown out of an airlock. Something can come through the hole, and and then all of a sudden your brains are getting sucked out through a hole, or in the hole or something like that. They don't have anti-gravity. They have to wear magnet boots. It's great. If something goes wrong and your magnets aren't working or whatever, you're floating away. It's an amazing show. It looks great. I love how gritty the stations are, because people are living on them, and I'm like, they probably didn't even build these stations for all these people to live on, but people just probably started showing up. Oh, there's a new life out in space where they don't, you don't have to pay taxes. Oh, you'll pay taxes. It's a different kind of tax. It's an oxygen tax. It's a water tax. The ships look very utilitarian, says Dr. Scott Giles. The word utilitarian also makes me think of the word utopian, which is, the Orville takes place in a utopian future. I wouldn't even say this is a dystopian future. It's just like a realistic future. It's not pretty. Earth is pretty. It's not safe. Not everyone is fed. It's kind of like nowadays, but in a busy city where people aren't doing so well because they don't have jobs or whatever. But in space, Alexander Sandu says, I'm not sure what mystery you're referring to, but the Expanse is like a Soloff? Sorry. Oh, so we'll find the answer to the White Walker in the before last book, which yet to be written. Yeah, this is kind of like with the White Walkers, where it's kind of, in Game of Thrones, you just kind of hear about them a little bit. It's just kind of slowly, they just are slowly introduced over time. And I think, the mystery here was like, what's going on? Why are people attacking us? What's this technology people have? We don't even understand. We've never seen that before. What's this purple stuff? We're just getting a little bit at a time. What's this weird thing like in an engine room, like a big sphere thing? It looks like a monster, kind of. It's crazy. Thank you again, Thomas. I appreciate that. Let's see what we got here.
Boom, bitch! That's what I'm talking about right there on that boom!
You gotta get both. And you get this one.
Now entering glory hole.
T. Caldwell says, idea for your videos. Who would win in a fight? Kirk, Mercer, Data, or Isaac? Maybe during off-season. I'd love to hear your take. And I'll give you all my money. Thomas Jane was a detective. Him versus Deckard from Blade Runner. Oh, that'd be cool. Isaac, I think, might win against Data. I could see Isaac. I could see Isaac winning against Data. I mean, Data's super strong, but Isaac is as strong as a Selean, which I don't know how strong that is, but I think it's stronger than Data. Yeah, I'm going to be doing, for the off-season with the Orville, I did this all last year. I did all the reviews and news and stuff for the Orville in Season 1. Then, of course, there's the downtime. So that's when I start doing, I find topics about the show, insights. And I do, like with the Orville, even though the show was off air for a year, I did an episode almost every week about the Orville, whether there was news or not. And for many months, there was no news. So I started doing character spotlights, which I'm going to do again. I'm going to be doing a lot more behind-the-scenes stuff this time for the rest of the year until the Orville comes back for Season 3. I want to do an episode about costumes, the costume designer, the effects team, Tom Constantino, the editor, and I'll be doing that stuff for the Expanse as well. But of course, the main thing with the Expanse is going to be getting those episode reviews, because I'm still learning. I don't know anything about the show except for what happened in Season 1, and even that I'm still trying to remember what's going on. I'm going to have to rewatch it because I was just so enthralled. I was eating my popcorn, drinking my wine. You know how I do. That's how you drink wine. You go, woo, woo. And just enjoying the show for what it was. I wasn't taking notes. I'm just going to get lost in it. And so that's what I like to do. I do that with the Orville as well. When I watch an episode of the Orville, I don't take notes for that first time. I just sit there, I enjoy it as a fan, and I let myself get lost in it. Your Egotastic Nowhere says, I had whiskey. Man, I love whiskey. I love rum, like brown, dark, I like brown alcohol, bourbon, all that stuff. But I don't drink it very often because I can drink a lot of it before I realize I had a lot of it. And it's bad for me. So I had to stop drinking it more often than not. Every once in a while, though. Dr. Scott Giles, The Expanse is a noir mystery. Yeah, very much so. A political intrigue and a sci-fi adventure. Well, I'm going to write that down because I'm going to steal that one for my review, Dr. Scott Giles, because that's perfectly put. Jason Sexton, thank you so much. Love JP, so funny. Your song, Give 'Em All Your Money, I literally sing it all day. Yeah, me and you both. I work in the service industry. I love your content. I can't watch Expanse because, like Greed BS, I don't have Amazon. Do any of you guys know if it's still on Netflix? I know it used to be on Netflix. At least the first, seasons. Definitely Season 4 won't be on there. And I'm sorry you can't watch it right now. Hopefully you'll be able to at some point. I don't know if you can rent the first 3 seasons. That might be an option. It's Johnny Gat says it's 12 a.m. I'm tired. Farewell. Well, thank you so much. And actually, I can't stay on too long. I have to go to work in the morning. And I didn't even know I was going to be doing this show. And usually when I do a live show, I like to start at 7. And I started this at 10:30, which is usually my bedtime. But also, of course, we'll be doing... Jason Sexton says, looking forward to your spoilers. Yeah, I will be giving spoilers away. Now, you'll know all my episodes that are the Expanse episodes, so if you don't want to watch them, I understand. That's fine if you don't want any spoilers, because I'm going to spoil it hard. Your Egotastic Nowhere says Amazon Prime is worth the membership. It is. It didn't used to be at first, but it has been for a long time now. I love the new Tick show as well. But, of course, they got tons of movies, lots of shows to watch. Clint Harden, JP, how's it going? How's it going, Clint? Voltaire says, but not Netflix. Check your local library. Rent it all for free. Yeah, it might be available for now, right as of now, since it's a couple years old. They pulled it late in 2018, Peter Rain. Yeah, I'm sure as soon as Amazon got it, they had to redo all the deals, and they're like, no, you can't have it. It's ours now. Thanks, Charles Wynn. Charles says, keep up the great work, JP. Alec Lux says, did you see the Adam Savage cameo? No. I mean, if I did see it, I didn't notice it. Chronozone DJ says it was on Netflix, season 1. Man, it's probably not there anymore because Amazon bought the whole thing. They bought the whole shabam. Clint Harden says Amazon added The Expanse in 4K recently. I started... Ooh, geez, I better... Is it all 4K? Because I need to make sure I'm watching the 4K version. Oh, I mean, it looks great. I probably am. But I'm going to double check. Thanks for reminding me that. I always forget to check for 4K stuff. Chaz Bear says, thanks, JP, for turning me on to The Expanse. Binge watched all 3 seasons. See, you're ahead of me, Chaz. I'm only just finished 1. But, of course, I'm going to zip through it. I go full-time Egotastic FunTime this Friday. Thursday is my last day at work. And then, of course, we'll be doing the Talking the Orville live pre-show Splosion that night. So we could talk about that, how that went then. And so that'll be fun. Dr. Scott Giles says, Adam Savage is in season 2. Okay, that's why I didn't notice him. But I'll definitely look out for him now. Nice. Josie G says, JP, definitely check out Scott Manley's video on The Expanse. Okay, I'll look into that because I do want to see what people are saying. I got a lot of catching up to do, and not just with watching the show, but doing the background research. Because I want to know everything about the show, so that just like what I do with the Orville. So anytime something happens, boom, you know, it gets set off in my brain. It makes connections to other things, and then I'm able to figure stuff out, or just get some great behind-the-scenes info for the reviews. So you know, I could pop up some. Hey, you might not have known that everybody was given a bar of gold in episode 5 behind the scenes after they were giving away a free pizza party by catering, you know, something like that. Cardinal Doomsday says all 3 seasons are on Amazon Prime in Australia, JP. Here too. They just came to Amazon Prime, all 3 seasons. I just finished 1. I'll be starting... I'm going to do a review first, and then I'll start season 2. Because I want it to be authentic when I say, okay, I watched it. Here's everything about it. Now I'm going to go watch season 2. I don't want to just say that and having already watched it. I'm going to do it for, you know, legits, you guys. Peter Royan is talking to Mr. Bellamy says, make sure to read the novellas as well. Also, I heard that the Expanse books are on Audible, and apparently they're read the readings are very good. Apparently the Audible versions are very good. So I recommend looking into that. I think I'm going to look into that as well. Clint Harden, thank you so much.
Now entering glory hole.
I appreciate that, Clint. Now, so this is the Talking the Expanse live show. We're going to need to figure out how, I'll figure it out eventually when we get a schedule of the show. You know, to do more live shows for the Expanse when it starts airing again. Of course, I'll do another Expanse live show when I'm finished with season 2, so I can talk about that. and as well as with Season 3. We're getting into the Expanse, okay? This is going to be a hardcore to do, just like the Orville is a hardcore to do. So it's going to be order of importance, talking the Orville, talking the Expanse, talking Star Trek. Well, we're just going to skip. There will be nothing here, and talking Star Trek will be over here until they get better. Because Star Trek's... I don't know what's going on with Star Trek, you guys. They're getting all weird. I'm pretty sure the Red Angels are... If you guys aren't caught... Well, don't worry about getting caught up. Just listen to what I say about it. Those Red Angels are Michael Burnham. I'm pretty damn sure. Because that's how that show works, right? Michael Burnham's the star. Michael Burnham is every character. Jason Link says, better than the fan-produced Star Trek Outlaws audio adventures on YouTube. Oh, man, I should check that out. Cardinal Doomsday says, priorities, JP. Yeah, and I think the Expanse will be a great carryover for the channel while the Orville's off air. Even though we'll be talking about the Orville every week, I'll be doing something. There's a lot to talk about. And then eventually, 7 or 8 months before it comes out again, little tidbits of news will be coming out more and more about the Orville, and then boom. And then tons of stuff will come out. I'll be covering all of it. Jason Sexton says, don't spread yourself too thin, bro. No, I won't. I'm all prepared. I'm going to be doing everything I have been doing and more, but I don't have to worry about my job anymore, so I'll be going to bed at a reasonable hour, finally, for the first time in 3 or 4 years. I've been spreading myself too thin working the other job. Now it's going to be great. Chronozone DJ says, I say it again, the Red Angel is Roddenberry. Well, that would be fine as long as he's going to explode the entire universe and then recreate it in the image of Star Trek, which would be nice. Dr. Scott Giles says, The Expanse and the Orville are two shows of unusual contrast. That, they're both amazing shows, but completely opposites. I mean, The Expanse is the right way to do gritty, okay? Gritty sci-fi. Whereas Star Trek Discovery is the wrong way to do gritty sci-fi, if you're going to call it Star Trek. The Orville is that utopian, hopeful vision of the future, slick Star Trek 90s style, but going even further on certain storylines that Star Trek touched upon, and now they're doing it in their own way, where they're doing things on the Orville that Star Trek would never do, even though it's starts off in the same place. God, I can't wait for part 2. We're going to be talking all about the Orville Identity Part 2 day after tomorrow, of course, for the Talking the Orville live pre-show Splosion. That's going to be amazing. Pedar Ruan says, I give you until season 2 before you are fluent in Lang Belta Ha. Now, yeah, there's sometimes different languages come up in the Expanse. Every once in a while, I'm like, I can't tell if that's a real language, like, in the world that we all exist in, or if it's something they created for the show, or if it's a combination of languages after, 200 years of people being out there in space, starting their own civilizations, basically, never been to Earth. I love the idea. I think it was the first episode at the UN. They were torturing some, terrorist or something like that, but he was a belter. He grew up in, low G. So the way they tortured him simply was just exposing him to Earth's gravity. That was torture for him. It was like crushing him. They have no strength on Earth. Which also makes me think that wouldn't an Earther, out there in the belt, basically be almost kind of a little bit like a Selean, like super strong, like have super strength? I'm guessing. I mean, I assume that's the case. I haven't really seen quite an example of that, except for when Amos said what's his name? What's Alex is his name? I can't remember the pilot with a kind of a southern accent. I think it was him, where he says, I can carry you. You can't carry me, so we're going to put you out. because I can actually carry you, because I guess he's an earther or something like that, or maybe he's just super strong. I don't know. I ended up really liking Amos. I usually don't go for the all-American looking types in shows. I'm like, oh, whatever, some all-American. That dude's awesome, man. Amos is kind of like nuts a little bit, and I love it. Clinton Harden says the Solians live in high gravity, so they are stronger in our gravity. Belters live in low gravity, so they would be weaker in our gravity. Yeah. Solans, yeah. Oh yeah, Solans are crazy strong. But when an Earther goes to like, Eros or Ceres or whatever, I would think they'd be way crazy strong compared to anybody there. Leslie Schaefer says Amos is an Earther. Yeah, so I love Naomi. She's just super cool. Who else is on the show? I have their names here. I'm still remembering the names. Holden ended up being cool. A lot of these characters are always the type of... Because I didn't recognize hardly anybody on the show. I'm like, who are all these people? Usually all TV shows have the same 5 people, and all movies have the same 5 people. And, of course, there's certain people that are recognizable. Like Thomas Jane. But I ended up liking everybody. There's not a single character I don't like on the shows. Unless, I might not like their character because you're not supposed to like them. Yeah, Alexander Sandu says Amos is the nuts one, the muscle man. Yeah, okay, there's this one scene. I can't remember exactly what episode. Might be episode 8, where that one guy with the camera eye, they found him on board their ship. So they got him, and Amos has him by the airlock, and they're going to be boarded. No, they're going to be boarded. I don't remember if the eye guy is even there at that point. They're going to be boarded by, I think, Martians or Dusters, and Thomas is there by the airlock with the rifle. He's gonna just shoot whoever comes, right? And Holden's like, no, and he's pointing the gun at him, and Amos didn't even care. He's like, go ahead and shoot. I know you're not gonna do it. And then after the whole scene was done, he didn't have to shoot anybody. He just gets up and goes, well, that's cool, and he walks away. I thought that was awesome. Another show would usually just have people just be pissed off and, fronting each other and getting up in each other's faces. He's just like, okay, that worked out, and he just walked away. No animosity whatsoever. I thought that was amazing. That's right. Alexander Sanu says, Alex speaks like a Texan, but he's from Mars. That's right. He was from Mars. I think it was in episode 4, the very end of episode 3 that we learned he was from Mars. They put him in a Mars uniform when they took him on that Mars ship. You be enjoying them Expanse, Sasaki? I don't know what that means. Dr. Scott Giles says, part of the Belcher language is gestural, a holdover from working in space with crappy comms. Oh, man. Yeah, of course. I mean, the further away you're going to get from Earth, after generations, the language is just going to get worse and worse and worse. TJDX says, when is the premiere? I don't know. I don't even know if it's been announced yet. If any of you guys know, let me know. I haven't done any research yet. I didn't want any type of influence on my thoughts on the show when I was watching the first season. That's going to be the case for the other 2 seasons as well. I don't really watch other people's reviews. I want all my opinions to be my own, because me, if I watch a review, people have their opinions, good opinions, bad opinions, whatever. They get in my brain, and then my brain starts working them into the situation. You know how humans are. So I try to not watch other reviews. Boom. Pedar Ron says, filming is done. That's good to know. I'm sure it'll still take a while, though. That show's extremely effects heavy. Mr. Tommy Pickle says, they just said before the end of 2019. Oh man, that could be just like the Orville did, December 31st. Peter says, post-production now. Leslie Schiffer says, and in the books, Amos is a middle-aged black man. Initially, I thought most of the cast was too young, but the actors are doing such a good job, the age difference doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm usually pretty sensitive to characters being too young as well, because I'm an old man now. I'm old, I guess. But yeah, I haven't even thought about it with this show. Nikolai Krafelian, sorry, I'm sure I messed up your name. Season 3 was amazing. I just finished it. I can't wait to get there. G Page says it's the best sci-fi since Battlestar. I love it so much. Yeah, it's even though it's different than Battlestar, it's probably even more. It's the Expanse. It's an expanded universe. Probably it seems a lot more pieces to the puzzle, but it does satisfy that Battlestar urge. That taste for Battlestar that I have. Especially any of the space stuff in the Expanse is really like awe-inspiring. I'm really impressed with it. TJDX says, you seem cool, man. I don't say that very often, but love your channel, bro. Hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Belinda R says, S4 will air late summer, early fall. Well, that's good. That gives me time because I want to do a nice season 1 review, a season 2 review, a nice season 3 review, and then we can do more episodes until it starts. I'll throw out one a few times a month. Maybe looking at certain moments, and then of course the news will start coming out about season 4, and we'll be doing news updates as well, and I'll be caught up. So, yay! That's what it takes. Oh God. I just saw that. There we go. Chaz Baird says, JP, are you going to read the books? I probably won't read the books, but I might do the audibles. I might read the books. I've just been so busy for years now that I just never take the time to read. I used to read all the time back in the day, but now I got bills to pay, Jack. And they don't give you time anymore. I just want my time. Pedar Ruan says, I love seeing the Expanse through fresh eyes. Well, I love being the fresh eyes to experience the Expanse. I'm really excited about it. God, I wish I was there since day one. Dr. Scott Giles says, Amos and Miller are great characters, excellently portrayed. Really, all the casting is brilliant. Yeah, so far I'm pretty damn happy. Even I even like the little guy with the little spy cam eye, but of course something happened to him at the very end of season 1. We don't know what the aftermath is, but I can guess that it's not good. R25 says they just announced new cast members over the last few days. Okay, when I get all caught up with everything, news like that will be stuff that I start reporting. We're going to be covering everything, I'm going to be looking into everything I can for the Expanse. Actually, I might be meeting some writers from the Expanse next month. And by next month, I mean April. I'm going to Los Angeles on April 6th for Yuri's Night, which is an awesome space big to-do party event. Astronauts are speaking, Bill Nye's speaking, all the sci-fi people are there, writers, actors. Seth MacFarlane might be there, 50-50 chance. All the Expanse people are going to be there. So I'm going to have a VIP press pass, taking some footage, hopefully doing some on-the-spot interviews with some of the people from the Expanse. So I'll get some questions prepared, send them in, Twitter or in the comments sections of these videos, and I'll see if I can, get those questions to the writers of the Expanse. Michael Aragon says, "Can I go?" Yeah, just go look at Yuri's Night and look at tickets and buy some tickets. Yuri, YURI_S night. They do it all over the world, all throughout the year. It's a big to-do. It's like a con, basically, right? But it's a party. It's like from 6 to midnight, but it's kind of like a con. And, I'm going to the LA one, but a week later is the one in Florida. Explore, some shuttle's going to be there, and all kinds of space stuff's going to be there. It's going to be pretty cool. I'm going to take all kinds of footage, do some shows from there and put them out on the channel. Should be a lot of fun. Mr. Bellamy says, you trying to get a job? No, I have a job. Egotastic FunTimes is the only job I need. Once I'm done working my regular job this Thursday. Last day is this Thursday. R25 says, Gunny. I haven't met Gunny yet, but I can't wait. Clint Harden says, yay, that Yuri night is coming to my neck of the woods in April. The LA one or the Florida one? Nikolai Krefelian says, honestly, the only question I care about is if they would shoot and show 2 seasons a year. It's a major show. Hey, I'll ask them. I'll say, hey, the only thing people care about is if you'll do 2 seasons a year. Brian Reed, and this is what I keep hearing, Brian. Oh, God, wait until you can get completely caught up. A wild ride. That's what I keep hearing. I can't wait to find out what people are talking about. And you guys have been so great. You haven't spoiled anything for me. Dr. Scott Giles, it's great that you get to go to some of these great events. You deserve it. Thanks, Scott Giles. Well, this is my first great event to go to. This is the first one. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to prepare. I'm going to bring my camera, some audio stuff. I'm going to walk around the whole event, talk to some people, do some crazy stuff and film it, and then throw it all together. Also, I'm doing a road trip out there, so we're going to be doing some road trip videos. Jason Sexton says, you inspired me. At least a 2-week notice. Man, I should have just done 2 weeks. This 4-week thing, I thought I was being nice. It was just a big waste of time for me, personally. I should have done 2 weeks. I thought I was going to be helping them out by staying for 4 weeks so they can replace me, because they're going to have a hard time replacing me. No one knows how to do what I do there. And I thought I was going to be training people, but they never even asked. I'm like, man, you guys are going to be so screwed on Thursday when I leave. Alexander Sundu says, for at 25, I just found the article 2 hours ago and didn't see any expert opinions yet. Frozen Owl, JP, did your work offer you a raise not to quit since you're so invaluable there? No, they did not, because I didn't even give them the option. I said it doesn't matter. They couldn't afford it. I could tell you that, but it doesn't matter. There's no amount of money. There's no amount of money. TG Hibiki, sorry. Glad to hear it, JP, about your final days at your job. You'll be having a great time all the time. Well, I don't know. I plan on working really hard all the time, but I think, even when I work super hard and almost kill myself doing the show, it feels great. Writing those scripts, I'll spend 8 hours writing an Orville review. And it just feels great the whole time, even though I'm up late, I'm tired, this and that, but I'm doing it for my dreams, so that's the difference. TC Aldway, Thomas, thank you again so much. I'm glad to be in on the ground floor of a cool channel. I want to see you succeed and keep having an egotastic fun time. Can't wait to see what's next. I can't either. I have lots of plans. Oops. I have lots of plans, but every time I start working on something, I just get an idea all of a sudden. I'm like, oh, and I start working on that. And so I can't wait to see what crazy ideas come into my head once I'm not spending 8 hours a day like this. Typing. This is me typing. This is my typing phase. No more of that. Now it's going to be, haha, idea, light bulb, boop. Too bad I don't have a remote for that lamp back there. I could click it on like I had an idea. Your goat is nowhere. Your goat is nowhere. An egotastic fun time. Thomas, thank you so much. Thomas has to bail. I still have a regular job. I do too, actually. I have to go to that regular job tomorrow and the next day. Alexandra Sandu says, I was referring to new casting news, characters, JP. I was trying to identify their book counterparts. Ah, I see what you're saying. B flat, the original. Your scripts show the amount of creative work you put into them, JP. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm not smart enough to do stuff off the cuff. I have to write it down. It usually comes out better if I write it down and then erase it and rewrite it down. Jason Sexton says, good answer. They get used to your greatness and take advantage of it. Well, also at that job, I've had that job for 8 years. The time off is horrible. You get, 80 hours a year, which, a lot of people get, but there's no sick time, no personal time. So you have to use, if you have to go to the doctor, if you get sick, which we all do, you got to cut it into your vacation time. So you just end up never taking a vacation. You'll take a 3 or 4 day weekend here or there, and I don't do medical through them. I do third party. So I'm like, I don't need to be here anymore. I don't need to be here. YouTube and Egotastic FunTimes has given me enough where I don't have to worry about being stuck at that job. I could go get another job somewhere where I'd be happier, But first I'm going to try doing Egotastic FunTime for a couple months and see if I can build the empire. Broke on crypto. JP loves personal time. I do. I love it. I love personal time. Eccleston's angel, the queen is here. Bow to your queen. We boweth to Eccleston's angel. You're just getting here at the end. I have to turn this off here. I actually got to go to work, you guys. I expected to do 30 minutes, and here it has been an hour. Eccleston's angel says, I think you'll do just fine, JV. Thank you very much. I think I'll do fine. I think I'll be fine because not necessarily starting Friday, because Friday is going to be hardcore starting my review of the Orville. And an Orville review, an official Orville review, takes me like 3 days of work, which is fine, even though my car videos get way more views than the one I worked 3 days on. But that's okay, because I like working on, if anything, when I work on a full review for 3 days, I just learn so much about the show that it really helps with my knowledge of the show. And I just have, that's when I write comedy sketches and all that stuff, so it's a lot of fun. So on Friday, like I could say I'm Egotastic full-time, but I'm really just Orville full-time on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I'll try to fit in Star Trek Discovery review in the middle of that. And then once I'm done with that Orville review, I think I'll finally have enough time to do an official Expanse review next week. I'm really hoping I can do it next week. I think I can. Well, I can, because I'm not working next week at my regular job. I can wake up in the morning and work on the show. So yes, I will have an official Expanse video next week for you guys. I got to start figuring out what to do. Got to do some sketches, got to do some jokes, got to do some in-depth research to give you guys some facts about the show that you may not have known about. But I also have to do that in a way where I'm not learning about Season 2 or Season 3 yet. Your Goddess Nowhere says, I wish Janeway were the Red Angel. Janeway is the Red Angel if she's... Well, actually, she's not redheaded except for in that Orange is the New Black show. She's actually called Red. B Flat, the original, says, Egotastic full-time, yeah! Shifty says, you don't even need to wear pants. Oh man, I didn't even think about that benefit. God, this is gonna be great. No more pants. But okay, you guys, I do have to get to bed. I have to drink my Wawa, stay hydrated, go to bed, wake up in the morning, go to the job. Kevin Scott 76 says, JP, you didn't show up as live on YouTube. Just stumbled on it. Stupid YouTube. YouTube's not supporting my liveness right now. I'm so alive. You can tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a live YouTuber. No time to talk. Belinda R. Jim Murray is the Expanse prop master and helped lead the Save the Expanse charge. Ooh, that's going to be a whole to-do. That's right. I didn't even think about that. The Expanse had this huge fan uprising, and that's why Amazon responded and bought the show and is bringing out for it. That is a whole episode of the show right there. I'm going to do a whole episode about that experience. Thank you, Belinda R. I didn't even think about that with my brain matter. Owned Stamp says, when do you think will be the first time a movie is shot in space or orbit? When it's really cheap to get there, I think is what it will be. Because also, real space isn't as cool as fake space. Yeah, movies are almost impossible to get produced nowadays. It's all a money game. And the biggest names out there can't even get funding for their movies anymore. And that's why so many movies are just reboots and, stuff with the name recognition, because they're impossible to get money for anymore. So if space is free, then somebody's going to do it. Dr. Scott Giles says, JP, you're great. It is a beautiful thing to be creative and to create one's way through the world on your own terms. I was just thinking about that today, but not even thinking about it in a way of oh yeah, making my way, paying my bills, doing what I want to do. I was thinking of wouldn't it be great to just create my own world and live in it and not worry about all the stuff that's going on in the news and all people just being dicks at Walmart and stuff like that, and just create my own world, hang out with the people I want to hang out with, talk about the things I want to talk about, experience the things that I want to experience, and not worry about all the life trolls, because all of life is a troll, right? Essentially. Thomas Codwell 74, the official Thomas, is here. No short name this time. Jaloja, everyone. Fix my name for you. Really good night this time. All right, good night, Thomas. Thank you so much for becoming a $100 Patreon today, or last night, I guess it was. I thank you so much. You're in a club of two. There's another gentleman who is a $100 Patreon, and you two are my best friends, basically. Eccleston's Angel says, JP, talking to you makes me happy. It makes me happy talking to you. That's the whole reason I started this, is to talk to people. Clint Harden says, oh, also congrats on 20K subs. Thank you so much. We're really close to 21,000. It's probably a day away, maybe less. Might have hit it already. I haven't checked in a while. We do got to get this thing up to 100,000. We could probably do that in 3 or 4 days, right? No, I'm interested to see, because I'm going to be covering a lot more topics when I go full-time. Of course, we have the main topics. Orville. The Expanse. Star Trek. Everything else is going to be Egotastic FunTime. You know how we do. Randomness. If you guys want to check out the Twitch, once I go full-time, I'll be doing Twitch many times throughout the week, as well as doing the Egotastic Game Time channel, Egotastic FunTime Gaming on YouTube as well. That's going to be gaming news, other game streams, and special fun over on that channel. You got to diversify, you guys. And I appreciate you guys coming out tonight, talking the Expanse with me. That's one thing, as I watch something, I'm like, oh God, there's no one around to talk about this with. I want to talk about it, and then you guys are here, so I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. I say that in every episode, but it really does. Nico Stefan says, JP, have you seen the the Expanse cracked YouTubers? Very funny. Hashtag I see dead people. No, I haven't looked up anything Expanse. Who covers it? The only thing I looked up about it was the trailer, which, did we even watch the trailer? I think we did at the beginning of this stream. That's all I looked at, as well as watch this first season. Owned Stamp says, what games are you going to stream? Well, I'm currently streaming Shadow of the Tomb Raider on Twitch. The types of games, but I'm going to be playing more games as time goes on. You know, I'm a big Red Dead guy. Battlefront. I like the sandbox stuff, GTA type stuff. Of course, I don't play GTA anymore because we got Red Dead, you guys. You know, Uncharted, that type of stuff. But I'm going to be expanding. I got my VR, so I'll be doing some VR. I'm going to do some of the scary games, but I do get scared pretty easily. So we'll do those few and far between, but we'll still do them. Fallout, I love Fallout 4, but Fallout 76 is just too big. So I'm like, I don't have time to play it. I'll get lost in it. I won't get my Egotastic FunTime videos done. So I'm not playing Fallout. Though I love Fallout. I love it. Eccleston's Angel. JP, I will be going to Vegas this year. Oh, God. Vegas used to be my second home. Because, you know, when I lived in L.A. all those years, well, I'm a Southern California boy. So I was always close to L.A. I used to go to Las Vegas every month for about 5 years straight. For business? No. For pleasure. For fun. Getting them free rooms. Getting them free drinks. Gambling. You know, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. And I'm going to run right now, you guys. I see you, Mr. Bellamy, with your Fallout 3. And if we're going to say goodbye, we're going to say goodbye right, even though I have nothing prepared for this. But I will say, not that, I will say, okay, that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about today. Actually, I want to talk about more. But I talked about what I wanted to talk about, guys. How about you? Have you watched The Expanse? I hope you have. You're ahead of the game. I just finished season 1. What do you think is in store for season 4 on Amazon Prime? It's its new home for The Expanse. Don't tell me right now because I don't want any spoilers. But you can say it, you know, later on if you want. You could say what you want by joining the conversation below. And thank you so much for liking, sharing, and supporting my stupid show by clicking on all the stuff down there, or just watching, or just commenting and saying hi, because that's why I'm doing this. I'll see you very soon, tomorrow at some point. I don't know what we're going to talk about yet, but I'll figure it out. And as always, I hope all your times are Egotastic FunTimes. And don't forget, Chaloja! Love you, bye-bye!
Egotastic FunTime, we're gonna have a great time. Egotastic FunTime, give me all your money. Give him all your money. You will find it funny. Just give me money. I love money. Give me all your 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 money.